Hello. Did you always know you were going to be like a cross-genre author doing comic books and novels and children's stuff, or was it a happy accident?
Oh, great question. Don't think anyone's ever asked precisely that before. Well, when I was a kid, I definitely wanted to be a writer, but I thought I was going to grow up to be... actually, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a writer, but that seemed mythical and impossible. And you couldn't get there from there. So I think, well, I'll probably grow up to be an English teacher, because I've met English teachers. They were good. So I was like, maybe I'll be one of those. Maybe I could be one of those sort of things that looks like it's fun on television, like a barrister, because they have wigs. They get laughs. But I think I wanted to grow. I expected to either grow up to be the kind of fantasy writer who has maps in the front of their books, or the kind of hard science fiction writer who's writing genuinely sort of clinky science fiction, Larry Niven kind of stuff, Discworld things, not here on Earth. So that was what I thought when I was a teenager. When I was in my early 20s, I was a journalist. And I interviewed a lot of authors. And talking to those authors, not actually normally during the interview itself, but afterwards, when you go down to the pub for a drink and you're just chatting with them. And these were best-selling people. These were big, important people. And I was not. I was a nobody journalist. But they would tell me about how they all had a novel they couldn't really get published. It would be a French Revolution novel, or something about steamships, something like that. And I would... And they couldn't get it published because it would be very different from whatever it was they were famous for. And their publishers just really didn't like the idea. Maybe it might eventually be published under a pen name or something, or published by a small press. But they would talk about the fact that there were things they could not get published. And even as a 23, 24-year-old journalist, I was going, no, that's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to be that thing. I want to do everything. And partly it's because I didn't really have a career plan. What I had was a list. And I'd drawn up my list when I was about 15. I showed it to my mum, who said it was a very good list. And it had all of the things I wanted to do on it, including, write a book, write an episode of Doctor Who. And it felt like I wanted to be able to do write comics was on it. And I wanted to do the things on my list. And then, once I'd started writing comics, I got completely spoiled, because comics is a medium that people mistake for a genre. People assume that comics is a genre, and it's not, it's just a medium. So in Sandman, I could do horror, or contemporary, or historical. Over in Miracle Man, Mark Buckingham and I were doing a different genre every episode. There was, one was a thing called Winter's Tale, which was just a children's story, and we did spy stories, utopian fiction of all kinds. And at the point where I was done for the first round with comics, I thought, okay, I have had complete power. I'm never giving that up. And I really was very, very serious about that. In fact, one reason why originally the first 3 novels that I planned to write were Neverwhere and Stardust, and a book called Time in the Smoke, which is all about the city of London and time. And Neverwhere happened, And then Stardust happened, and then I thought, hang on, I can't actually, if I write another book that's sort of set in London and has all this stuff, I'm going to be that bloke who writes those London books. And that was my, right, American Gods. Nothing like those two, and it's going to be big, and it's going to be this. And there was this determination, in the words of Noel Coward, I believe, never to pop out of the same hole twice.